The wisdom of the founders, the dead white guys, is incredibly important because, one, it's an incredibly narrow vision to limit who you're going to listen to and whose experience you'll consider to those who are only non-dead and non-white. that seems quite a silly way to go. Number two, when you find out what the founders said, they were some of the most literate. By which I mean their definition of literate was a bit different than ours. Ours is just, oh, you can read. And usually, as we're seeing in our public schools, it's barely read. But their definition was well-read. And so they were really some of the most well-read men in history. And so when they were constructing the system that became America, it wasn't just, there were certainly some aspects of it that were specific to the 18th century. But a lot of it was based on the experience of millennia, of centuries, going back to the Greeks, going back to the Romans, going to European history. So these are men who knew about all this stuff, and they synthesized all of it. And when you actually look at what they wrote and some of the prognostications, the prophecies, whatnot, that they made about what would happen in America, a lot of them turned out to be eerily true. And not all of them were bad. They had a lot of good ones about America becoming the breadbasket of the world, about it becoming the most powerful naval nation in the world, the most powerful commercial nation in the world. This is all, prophesied, so to speak. But they also had really distressingly true prophecies about the state of an ignorant society, the state of a society controlled by even big moneyed interests, such as banks and corporations and politicians and powerful interests getting in bed with one another. There's all sorts of subjects that you look to, morality, religion, economics, where when you look at what they said, a lot of times it's more relevant and more insightful to what's going on in our world today than what you'll see on the news. And so, in brief, those are some of the reasons that we should listen to the old dead white guys. And if those aren't sufficient, I would simply say, well, you live in the freest country on earth, and you should become familiar with the men who built her. And if that's not a sufficient reason, then I don't know what is.